Welcome back, guys. You wouldn't know it looking out the window, but man, it was cold this morning. It's been bone dry for weeks, but all of a sudden, the overnight low was just about freezing. It was, figuratively speaking, it was definitely freezing, but by the thermometer, it was also freezing. Thermometer on the truck's at 36. That must be Celsius, because it's way colder than that.
Well, it's better to go rich than lean, right? You don't want to cook the piston. Rich, you can foul the plug or whatever, but as long as you're on the pipe, which you're always on, you should be fine.
A little pre-ride, pre-mix discussion there, because when I went to mix my oil and gas, I think I was looking at the 2-gallon mark, but I was actually mixing 1.5 gallons. So we're going out a little rich today for the ride with Rich. One of the amazing things about being Eddie Lawson Jr. Is that the foibles, the mechanical problems, they never stop. So whether it's pre-mix or adjusting a brake lever, it always takes a long time to load, and there's always an issue on the trail. You'll be happy to know that I adjusted this in the driveway last night, and it was awesome.
It's just brakes.
I don't use the front one anyway. All right, I'll see you in 2 minutes.
All right.
Well, we did make it just actually by a little bit less than 2 minutes, although in fairness, we always stop here anyway. There was more adjustment to be made, and man, it was cold. Sorry.
Oh no, like everything hurts right now.
I'm not used to the cold, Rich.
No, I am not. It's not like this down south.
Most of my adjustments made. I'm getting used to the KTM after the beta, and I'm getting used to this really thin sand here. And I try to avoid some roots right in the middle of the trail here, and then lost the front and slid almost into that tree. That would have been a very difficult beginning to the day. As it was tricky. It was difficult. It was tricky. I always say it's tricky every one of these rides, but like right there, the sun catches the dust. It was really hard to see the trail, and I didn't have a lot of confidence in the front end. I wasn't sitting on the tank like I'm supposed to, right? Didn't have my weight forward. It caused me all kinds of trouble. But coming up here, a good example of the dust, right? The sun, the dust, there's nothing to see. And you never know if you're going to hit a root or a rut, which in my case, it's going to put you right on your ass. Interestingly, in a few seconds, I put the bike down, and I don't think there's actually any dust or sun or any excuse at all. You can see I have a lot of practice with the dismount. Looking back, maybe I should have just wheelied over that berm and carried on. Carry on I did though, and man, it was freezing cold. We are not used to these temperatures. Got the thin gloves on. Rich is warming his hands on the pipe. Sorry, I kind of fell down.
You all right?
Yeah.
Like fell or like fell?
Fell.
Yeah, I was like, oh, if I go faster, I'll warm up quicker. I think that's the reverse.
I was like, oh, if I go faster, I'll crash sooner.
I think I put my fan on a little bit late in the season. The guy in the KDX, the pot smoking fat guy.
Where are you going to go on the Impossible Hill? Now I'm curious.
So instead of going down to take that hard right, you can go a little bit before that. There's a left. You can go up the hill, and it kind of puts you up, and then you can kind of go crossed. I'm going to focus more on my...
See, the cold temperatures, they can also make it hard to focus. But anyway, so working on these dusty trails, I'm reminded that trees are just telephone poles with branches. It makes some of these trails a little tricky, difficult to... Why do I keep saying tricky? Anyway, it seems dangerous to experiment on these trails because they're lined with basically telephone poles. So any little mistake really could get hurt pretty badly. Rich is slowly edging away as usual. but the dust is still a problem and a little spotty, you know, like you come around a corner and depending on how the sun hits it, and all of a sudden like, oh, like right here. Now, I have no idea. I don't even know if I'm going left or right. A couple of roots in the trail right after. It's good stuff. So our little warm-up section is done. We head into the river loop, and the last time Rich was here, he went for a ride with Greg. And Greg is like the Yoda of Clough. He rides around on a 500cc two-stroke, which is ridiculous, and he's really got the technical stuff down. He rides in the snow with no studs. It's crazy. So Rich, I think, has learned some Yoda lines. One example, one reason I think this, coming around the left here, you go down and then up over these roots. And I always go to the left because that's where Rich always goes, and if you go up the middle, you get stuck. So I'm getting ready to make the left, but look at Rich. He goes all the way to the right. What is that? What's up there? What is it? Some kind of, whoa, tree magnet. Look out. Off to a good start. Yeah, I decided to bring the KTM 200 instead of the Beta 390. No stalling, a little bit better suspension because it's factory connection, aftermarket stuff. Definitely proven to be the right choice.
It's tough, makes it really tough. It's slippery, so dry. It's hard to see. As usual.
So entering into the first real rock garden, Rich makes the cardinal sin of going straight. We've proved many times that that line is very difficult. I take the easy line, easier line, zip through here. The KTM 200 is so nice. Not too heavy, plenty of torque down low, and that sorted suspension. Just buzzing right through here.
It's on. Yeah, it's happening.
As I made it through the day, I realized that my rear brake pedal was adjusted a little bit low. So I would reach for it and then stab it because it wasn't there. So like right here, I think I stalled it. Oh, pro move. Got to restart it without falling over. That's good. I always chuckle to myself up here threading through these trees, you know, the telephone poles. Check out this one on the left. All the bark missing from all the people that have hit it. That's not good. And there's this tree right in the middle of the trail. But due to my awesome trials training, I stall it and can't get over this stupid little branch. A little herky-jerky on the riding through here. I don't know exactly what's up with that. Probably not looking far enough down the trail. And looking far enough down the trail, I see here's Rich, and he totally roosting out here. Throws me off my game. But those rocks right there on the right, they're literally like 2 feet tall. You'd never know it from the video. What I'm trying to say is we're very manly, and it's incredible that we can even ride here at all. There were a few times on the ride where I really did almost run into a tree, like right here. Oh, that's like maybe an inch to spare. I think I just get lucky, basically. There's another one. There's what got one on the left here and on the right. So it's funny because I didn't totally bite it, but man, I did come pretty close. Rich is kicking up some dust down the trail here. Oh, hop over that little branch, blow down rather. Rich kicks up some dust, and here's a good example. Right here, it just looks like a left, and then when you get when you get right on top of it, it's a bridge. So of course I stab the brake and stall out. I'm just that good.
Very hard today. On my way off the bars to know I'm doing it the correct way.
I was working hard to at least stay close to Rich today, so he wouldn't have to wait too long for me. I always feel bad when that happens. And it was hard work, really trying to keep that gas open. So like I say, being aggressive, but it always seems like when I get aggressive, look what's right around the corner, that giant root. That thing would just swallow your wheel, dump you right on the ground. You just really can't relax.
I can't see where the deep holes are, or the ruts, or the whoops.
Yeah.
Like I just lose it with the depth perception. The next thing you know, I'm just getting hammered.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I think it gets pretty technical coming up, doesn't it?
Good example of dust right there. Mountain bike days?
Reference to the mountain bike days, that was the 24-hour mountain bike races that I used to do with my friend Tom, who would mount the lights on the bike, and at night you could see like 60% of what you could see in the day, but my times were basically just as good. So, proving that you don't need to see it to be able to ride it. Now, coming up here is a decent whoop section, which I just have to include to prove to myself and the world that sometimes I can actually do it. Luckily, it's like 4 whoops. That's about all I'm good for.
Alright, Possible Hill. Look there. I had it.
wasn't clean when I got up. Yeah, if it wasn't for your engine stalling, you would have made that. Blame it on the bike.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I can blame it on the bike. Operator error for sure. That hill just very, very difficult for me to get up clean. The section that follows it is this hillside here, and it's treacherous. It's a pretty narrow track, as you can see. Technical too, like rocky and roots, and big consequences if you get it wrong, because that drop off on the right, maybe you'd get hurt, you might get hurt, but it'll take you forever to get your bike back up onto the trail. A little dust in for good measure. Oh, this is good stuff right here. This is the very end of this section, and just check out, oh, look at how close that is. I almost crushed that thing, and then that one. And if I actually hit that, I'd probably go right down that embankment. Last one. Oof. If I hit that, then you go right into those stones on the left. I made it. And Rich is 5 minutes down the trail. Jumping ahead a little bit here, Rich is very polite, and he waits for me discreetly. You know, so all of a sudden, oh, there's Rich. And oh, here's a giant rock garden. This is the really tough part at the end that Rich was talking about, the technical stuff. Many a mental breakdown has occurred here. I'm supposed to go over that bridge. I never do because of that giant rock. Anyway, let's see what we got. Very nearly tagged that one. By this time, in this loop, my upper body was really tired. I don't know why. Just started to get lazy. And, you know, this is not the section to start giving up, sitting down and all that. You really need to be up on the pegs and moving quickly with the upper body. Oops, sneak under that branch there. Yeah, as you can see, the hits just keep coming.
That's frustrating.
Yeah, coming over that big step up, I just totally lost my momentum and fell over. So frustrating. Yeah, I think this is the part where I just kind of rode off into the woods. I'm lost now. Everything more or less funnels down to the same exit, but I have no idea what I'm doing.
When I bushwhack, one of them like dead branches that hangs down fucking impaled me. I'll be alright. We've obviously gotten better, I believe.
Yeah.
I also believe we have gotten better. I have to believe that. After all the riding we've done, please let it be so. That was it for my GoPro battery. Rich got me coffee and a donut after our ride. Thank you, Rich. Great ride. guys, see you next time. Stay safe.